point is uploading a memory. Like, the technology is not available to capture the smell. All we have is for visuals and audio. And at the moment, I can, because I'm walking down the street, I can share my inner monologue or inner dialogue, like in that neurotic fashion of talking to myself as I'm walking, and I can capture it, right? And so that's the closest we can do right now with consumer technology, of literally uploading my experience for you. So you can imagine you had virtual reality goggles that you put on chickens or whatever, and you put on humans, and you watch my videos. You're kind of there. And, like, sure, you don't, obviously it's not like a video game where you walk around my life, but you could just be in my life. So imagine that you could get the smells that I could capture, and then we could retransmit them. Imagine that you could get the sensation on your skin. Like, how cool would traveling? It's like a Total Recall, kind of. But it's literally uploading a memory. Yeah, that is Total Recall.
Yeah,
they uploaded a memory. 100%. So what I'm trying to do here...
That movie was what?
1991? Yeah. 90? Yeah, so that's what I kind of want to do, because I believe that's the future. What?
Like, going somewhere to I can't
yeah.
word it.
But my point is just that that's where the technology is going, is to one day, like what you're saying, I have this beautiful memory, and I remember this, and I remember that, and I remember
Be able to get into it?
Yeah, you'll be able to get into it. But no, and then you just, and obviously plenty of sci-fi is written about this too. You just pick it from the memory rental store, you take it, you pop it into your ass or whatever, into your neck.
No,
wherever we make the probe.
Why did you want the probe to be in your asshole?
Because it was funny, I thought, when I said it.
Wherever the port is, any port in the store.
Your nipple.
Yeah. Well, in my science fiction, it's a chip in your neck. But whatever it is, you pop it into your disk drive, you press play, and then it's over, right? And then in that you have smut, you have emotional memories. So imagine you capture the emotion too, where it's not just the sensory experience, but the internal experience. No, but I'm saying replicating something. I'm not saying having one. I'm saying replicating it. Meaning someone else has already had this experience. They record all of it. And once again, this is in movies already. Like, there was a really cool one I watched on Netflix. I forget what it was called. But,
So do you think that will be just as good as the real traditional experience?
Well, what is good, Jimmy?
Everything's just happy.
No.
There's no good and bad.
What is
honestly,
good?
If you want to use the words good and bad, I don't think it would be good. But I only brought this up is because that's what I'm kind of trying to work towards, because I think it's interesting, if nothing else. I actually really like watching people's GoPro videos. I don't really like the extreme sports stuff because I think it's kind of boring. Like, I like watching it for a minute, but actually I like the way I do it. When other people do it, I kind of like to see how they do it.
Would you like to see my New Zealand video sometime?
Yeah,
yeah.
You know what inspired me to do this is a few years ago there was a dude, and I think he was in the South somewhere, and he runs like a language learning YouTube channel or a website. Shout out, dude. And he walked into some grocery store, some international grocery store, with a GoPro on his head, and he just talked to a bunch of people, and he'd ask where they were from, and then he'd say some things in their language, because that's what he did, was learn languages. Very basic, like, hi, how are you, I like to eat this, where's the bathroom? And so he talked to Koreans, he talked to Mexicans, he talked to Senegalese, he talked to whatever, from all over the world that he knew their language, and they'd always get really into it. And it was just a really cool video of some dude walking around the grocery store, and then he posted it, and I'm like, this is so cool.
That's what you inspired.
Yeah, I mean, a bunch of things were kind of leading up, but then I saw that video, and I think it was within a week that I actually bought the GoPro and started doing it. And so at the time I was thinking, yeah, you have to be interesting. At the time I was thinking what you see has to be interesting. And then now, fucking a year and a half later, through the help of some people, and I realized that, no, you have to be interesting. Mm-hmm. But then when you're interesting, people want to see you, and, you have to redefine the whole thing.
So going back to what you said about, you can just kind of choose an experience off the shelf and plug it in your disk drive. It just seems to me about when it happens in real life, it happens unexpected, it happens organically, it often happens by surprise, and there's some deep qualities to be said for those things. Like, you appreciate it so much more because it is not, I paid $4.95 I got to experience the Grand Canyon, you know, through technology. And so there's something to be said for just that element of the process of how I experienced this. And I think that's what's getting lost in technology is process. It's all about end. But I think there's something about process that's really, really important.
Well, in that book, Present Shock, Douglas Rushkoff, he calls it, we're in a post-narrative world. You know, there's no longer really end. There's kind of beginning and exposition, but once you're in now, you're in. Like Game of Thrones or HBO series, they don't need to end. We don't want them to end, really. We want them to keep going. And so I look at this like going to the video rental, the memory rental store. No, it's not like you choose something off the shelf. You just choose what you want to tune into. And it's just happening live.
Yeah, but
right?
Okay, so then you do that, and you compare that with somebody who experienced that, you know, organically or you know, through technology, and I think those are two different experiences. Because I think you appreciate it more as when it happened through technology. But you know, maybe this is supposed
Well,
to be
what if
like a true digital immigrant?
No, I agree with you. But what if you were observing it organically, meaning what you were watching you knew was happening live, and even the person wearing the camera or the sensory input devices didn't know what was going to happen next. Then you have that sense of like,
but
whoa,
then that
cool.
undermines the whole process of it, like because you said you choose what experience you want.
Well, no, you're not choosing necessarily the experience of like what the content is, but maybe you're choosing the character, right? The person behind the camera, because you know you like them and trust them or whatever, and so you're choosing that. So what is before you is not predefined as this is an earthquake in Nepal. Here's what happened, right? Instead, it's here's a hippie dude and his friends playing music. And then you're watching it like, oh, cool. And then there's an earthquake, and you're like, holy shit, he doesn't know there was an earthquake. Like, I'm with him with this earthquake right now. Think of it that way. That'd be kind of crazy. You don't have to be there. Your heart would still be pounding. Because what if he dies? What if there's an earthquake right now, and someone was seeing things through this camera, and they knew it was live, and there's an earthquake right now, and this building started falling. And that person would be freaking out with us. I guarantee you that person would be freaking out. That'd be pretty powerful. Yeah, it's not the same as being there, but, you know, I don't think... I can't imagine anything... Maybe it is. Maybe you'd still get the PTSD.
Yeah, maybe you would. Like, I mean, I'm just saying because what you're suggesting is a new concept, and people by nature are typically resistant to, like, change. And I'm certainly one of those people. So I think of all the reasons why something would not work before I think of all the reasons why it would work. So no, you could be totally right. So I'm just thinking of, okay, what about the organic experience that, you know, delineates and separates the manipulated technological experience? So.
Yeah.
And that's why you're you and I'm me. I mean,
I'm curious to see where it goes and how long it'll take before that kind of stuff happens. Because like Twitter released Periscope, it's a live streaming app, so you can like live stream, or I don't know how long. But it's not this, but it's like on your phone, right? So like and people are into it, like it's getting there. So
can we just like kind of end this? How long are we, Jordan? I don't have my glasses on.
50 minutes.
50? Okay, yeah. It's kind of time to land this because I look at that.